Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I got a really exciting upgrade that I want to share with you guys today. I'm going to be adding and installing an ambient lighting kit for the dash of the Tesla Model Y. It's really cool. It's a product I've seen around the internet in a few different places, and I really wanted to get one and install it for you guys. Something that I've seen overseas is they're offering these retrofits. Tesla is actually offering these retrofits for this ambient lighting upgrade across the dash of your Tesla Model Y. But this is an aftermarket one that I wanted to kind of get and install for you guys so we can see how it looks, how it operates with the app, and kind of check out some of the functionality of it. I partnered with Tesstudio for this video. They sent me over this ambient lighting kit. They're a really interesting company, and they offer a lot more than just your standard accessories, your storage boxes. They offer a lot of lighting upgrades, frunk upgrades, soft close frunk, interesting door upgrades, really kind of taking it to the next level, really personalizing your Tesla to make it your own. So really excited to work with them on this video. Stay tuned to the end. They'll have a discount code for us in case you want to purchase this upgrade or other things on their site. But yeah, just appreciate them sending this over. So let's get into installing this. I'm going to do my best to take you guys along the process and install it with you. So appreciate you coming back to the channel. Let's get into it. So as we start to unbox the ambient lighting kit, this is what it comes with, a rather unassuming kind of just cardboard box. But as we get into it, we can actually see what's included. A little pamphlet from Tesstudio with some different accessories, power frunk, carving ambient light upgrades, adding turn signals to your newer Model 3s that don't have them. Really kind of awesome company that sells a lot of interesting Tesla products, more than just your standard fare. So this is the lighting kit. Comes with your actual main cable here. A couple extension cables. We'll get into those in a little bit, kind of where they all go. Your control box with a little QR code on it to actually download the app for what we're going to be using to control the ambient lighting kit. And these are the actual LED light strips kind of weaved around in here. It's not just your standard LED light strip where it has a little display on the end that's shooting it through like a fiber optic cable. This is LEDs along the whole way. Programmable, multi-changer, multicolors, all kinds of good stuff with this. This is the one that's going to fit actually in the dash panel. And then it gives you another one where they call the saddle ambient lighting kit. This goes right above and right above your phone chargers and right below your main screen. So we'll get that one installed as well. But I just wanted to show you kind of what all comes with the kit. Let's head over to the car and we're going to start taking some pieces off, getting it installed. I have my pry tools that these did not come with the kit. So you're going to need a set of kind of pry tools to pry off some of the trim pieces that we're going to need to install this. So make sure you have these handy when you get started. All right, first things first, we have the car completely powered off, which is what you want to do when you start kind of doing some of these upgrades and you're kind of plugging new things in. One of the first steps the instructions say to do is remove these triangle panels on both sides. So I have my pry tool here, and we're going to see what it takes to kind of get these off. And I watched some videos on this before. Kind of just wedge it in there. And there's just clips that kind of hold it all together. So get those clips kind of working out. Kind of work your way around. It should pop off for you. Great. So that's our first kind of piece done. Let's go around to the other side and get the other one off. Working on the driver's side, we're going to do the same thing and just using our pry tool, kind of wedge it in there. And we saw where those clips were, so let's just pull them off. There we go. Easy peasy. So the next step in the instructions say that this plastic trim panel piece right here needs to come off. So we're going to kind of use our pry tools. It's already a little loose, but let's just get our pry tool in there. See if we can pull this one off too. Yep, just a couple clips, just like the other one. Just like that. Fits right down in there. So we have the two triangle panels off and this side panel right here. The next step is to actually remove this entire dash piece. So we're going to work on that. And what I watched some other videos on how to do this, is they just kind of started prying it up. And it's just kind of, it comes out. Just kind of work your way down. Don't force it. Let's see. So I think we got this side fairly loose. So let's go work on the other side. So I'm going to do the same. Pull up down here. And there you go. And that's your whole trim piece for your dash out. Not to hit anything as you're taking it out of the car. And we'll set that down over on the left here. As you can see, we got the two triangle pieces off. We got the dash kind of exposed here all the way along the side. And where this lighting kit's going to install, there's a little groove right in the back here where we're going to push that little lighting kit up into this little kind of groove. We'll go ahead and do that next. So before we actually install the light strip, there's one more piece we have to take off, and it's this side trim panel here. This actually has a one of those like rivets, those plastic rivets that we actually need to kind of pop out, and then the whole piece should pop out. So let's just see if we can get a tool down in here and pop this out. I know I'm right in the way. So we just kind of pulled that little rivet out, the little pop rivet. And it comes right out, if you can see that there. Now this should all come loose. There we go. And I'm just going to scoot that over out of the way here, because that's actually the wiring that we're going to need to access to plug in our lights. So I have the LED strip here, and I'm going to try to kind of feed it up into this little crevice that goes all the way along between this plastic trim piece and the actual underside of the dash. So there's a little crack. So we're going to try to just kind of guide it up in there, and you want this side of the wire hanging down over here. So let's see if we can kind of get it up into that little spot. There you go. Looks good. We'll just kind of work that over if we can. All the way across to the driver's side. It's getting a little tight, but it's still going up in that groove. Just got to kind of work it in. You can pull up on the dash if you need to. Go. Let me get it all nice and seated flush down in there. There we go. There we go. You can just barely see it up in there. There's a little light right up in there in the groove. And when it's on, you'll be able to see it a lot better. I'll show you some more. So the next light strip is this little light strip, and it's the one that fits right above this the phone charger kit. So we're going to try to work on sliding this up in here now. And this wire is going to tuck around down and tuck all down in here, but just to kind of push this one up in there, that's all you need to do. The next thing we need to do is actually remove this kick panel down below here. So we can route some of these wires together and come over to the other one we're working with. So this one, if you ever changed your HEPA filter or ever done any of that work before on your Tesla, this is very easy and very familiar. So it's got, I think, 4 of these little, those rivet plugs we're going to just kind of pop out. 1, 2. There's 3. It's kind of dark back here. Where's the plug? I want to get you guys a close-up so you can see what we're working with. This is the light that we just installed on the top of the dash there. You can kind of see it up under there. The other light that we installed above the charging saddle panel is kind of right here. What we're going to do is run those extension cables, one all the way down here, around and underneath, kind of tuck it underneath this trim panel all the way to the back. Same for this one. We're going to wrap it around there, run it all the way to the back. We have one more plug that I believe goes right here after reviewing all the instructions. It's kind of a jumper. It's going to jump right here, and it's kind of the actual connector to connect all of this stuff together. It's going to go all the way to the back as well. So the car's powered off. We're going to unplug this wiring harness right here. And we're going to use this jumper piece and just kind of connect the two. That one's going to easily fit right down in here. Have it going the right way, like so. Then take this one with the 2 tabs, just like that. Make sure it's seated well, and that's all going to tuck back up in there when we get the trim panel all back on. So all of this and the extra wires all going to tuck up underneath here as we install it, and we're going to run it all the way back underneath there. I'll get you a wider shot so you can see what I'm doing. I'm plugging in just this top connector to the top part, and this is that other wire that came with the kit. We're going to run that all the way through. And this is going to be the saddle one, which is going to plug in, I believe, on this side over here. Like so. All right, the next step is going to be kind of putting a little bit of this back together, routing some of these cables all the way around. So we're going to work on that next. So the next few steps have us actually working in the back. So I have the wires routed back here. I decided to just kind of plug it in first to see if everything was working before I actually tuck all the wires in and button it all up. So it's all still kind of a little bit of a mess up in the front seat, but we're going to move to the back here and see if we can do kind of what's next in the instructions. So what's next is you actually remove this trim piece, your actual rear vent trim piece, and we're going to do a little bit of removal of this side trim too to tuck all the wires. But everything that I saw said you can just kind of pry this out, easy peasy. And then they're actually going to remove the vent clip here from what I saw. So let's see if we can do that. Okay. And your side vents out. So we'll set that down and we'll go check the next step in the instructions. And we're going to pry off this trim panel here, because that's actually where we're going to feed the wires up through and through a little kind of hole back here. So we're just going to kind of get our pry tool back in here, just kind of open that up, and you can see the actual little hole there. I think that's what we're going to try to use to feed some of our wires through. And it looks like a pretty small hole. I'm not sure how that's going to fit with the clip, but we'll actually see how that works in a little bit. The other thing we need to find and locate is the actual power harness for the rear AC vent. And I believe it's this wire back here. Let me get you a better shot. I believe it's this wire right here. So we're going to figure out how to take that out, and that's actually what's going to plug into our little control box that we're going to use to power this whole thing. So I have the signal cable kind of routed all the way through. It's going to tuck in here underneath this saddle strap when we get that kind of finished here. And I had it a little backwards. The 2 extension cables actually can go up in the front. As I thought it all had to come back here. But the only thing that really needs to come back here is just this yellow signal cable, and it has this jumper attachment. So we found the other cable from the car. It's kind of tucked back on top of your AC vent there. So let's get this unplugged. Okay, so we finally got it kind of released here. So let's use this jumper cable from the signal pieces and plug these 2 guys in. This one looks like it fits right in here. Perfect, nice snap there. And this one comes to actually go to the car. Line it up. And plug it in until you hear the click. Done. So that's the signal cable installed. That's giving the signal to the lights when they need to turn on and everything. And you can kind of see it's all, I'll tuck all this back up in there when I test it and make sure it's working. But let's go back up to the front and make sure everything is kosher up there. So the last step, if I've been doing this right, is really just plugging in the control box, which is going to tuck around over in here. So we have one, which is our signal cable going to the back, and this will tuck up all nice and neat when I get there. We're going to plug this guy in right there to the 1, make sure the 1 matches. Let's see, number 2 is this cable, I believe. Let's make sure we're looking at it right. Yep, number 2 is the top one, and number 3 is the saddle cable over there. So we'll plug number 2 into the number 2 slot. Hey, and the lights turned on. You see them up there? That's pretty cool. And the last one is number 3. And hopefully it'll turn on under the dash there. All right. Down in there too. And they're matching. It goes from kind of a yellow to a green. So look at that. We kind of got it installed, and hey, it's working. The next step is kind of going to be looking at the app, seeing if we can figure out when it actually comes on, and we'll go over some of that stuff too. I'm going to button all of this up, all of these different pieces, tuck in some of the cords, get it looking nice and neat again, and we'll be back once I get that all done. So I just finished up putting all the trim pieces back. Let's go take a look and see how it turned out. Look at that. Nice, nice red ambient lighting across the entire dash. It's the middle of the day and we're in my garage right now in the shade, but these are super bright. It doesn't even come across on camera how bright these lights are. They look amazing. I was able to download the app. It was a little finicky, but I got the app downloaded, dialed in, able to customize the lighting how I'd like. You got your little satellite down there too. We're definitely going to drive around at night. I'm going to get you guys some really awesome footage of all the different modes, about how everything looks at night with the different RGBs, different colors. But I just wanted to show you how clean and I think really classy a little ambient lighting goes. As you can see, I got all the trim tucked away. All the cords and everything kind of tuck up underneath that front panel, and you have that one saddle cable that comes along right down here, tucks into your back. From my experience so far, it notices when someone's in the car. So as soon as I close the door, all the lights will turn off. And as soon as I open the door, the lights turn on, which is super nice. But we're going to spend some time with it. I'm going to come back with my final thoughts after I get you guys some really awesome footage of driving around at night. All right, so we're out here at night, and I just want to show you guys the app real quick. I was able to get this downloaded and installed. It was a little finicky to get the app installed. I had to enable location settings within the app and then connect it to that little Bluetooth controller. But as you can see, I have it set up here with a really nice ambient red, which I think just looks really stunning at nighttime. It's really bright. I have it 100% brightness right now. You can see below the screen down there how that bright red comes through. But let's go through some of the other settings in this app. So if we go over to mode and kind of change some of these different ones, you can see right off the bat, forward dreaming. Let me turn up the speed a little bit so you can kind of see how it scrolls across. Really cool. You can have it really loud, really vibrant lights, or kind of more muted if you want. Let's turn the brightness down on this and see how it works. There you go. A little bit more dim, a little more muted for you. I like it bright, so we're going to leave it up at brighting. But as you come back and just take a look at all the options in the app here, there's over 200 pre-made settings. If you scroll through all of these, all the different ones, some ones that I really like. Obviously, the multicolors are really cool, but I like the red. And you can keep it a nice solid red, or right in here, forward trailing red. I think these are really cool. Just kind of nice movement. You can go forward or backwards with the red, backwards trailing red. So I think those look really sharp. It's really kind of sharp in here at nighttime. I'm really proud of how it looks. Overall, really happy with the app and with the product. So we just kind of finished up doing some nighttime driving, as you'll see in the background here, of the new ambient lights in our Tesla Model Y. Really happy with how they're performing, how the installation went. Overall, seems like a really good product. Time will tell, but the first few hours you've had with the product have been really happy, really beneficial, and I think it's going to turn out to be a really good product. A few final thoughts I want to touch on. The installation process. Overall, it took me about, I would say, 2 hours, 2 good hours to get this full thing installed. I'm pretty methodical, and I wanted to take my time and not break anything as I'm working through installing this whole product. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that I was doing it right, really taking my time getting installed right. Didn't want to break any of the cords within the underbelly of the Tesla, what have you. So just trying to take my time there. So I'd say about 2 hours. On a difficulty scale, I would probably call it about a 6. If you're any sort of technically savvy, if you've worked on cars before or moving some of the trim pieces, it's not too bad. There's lots of videos out there on Teslas and how to kind of take apart the trim pieces, lots of aftermarket accessories, which I love. But there's videos to show you how to do just about everything. If you do your research and you're taking your time and prepare, it's not too bad to install a product like this. Hopefully my video will help some of you out if you do choose to purchase this. Overall, really happy with the product, the amount of customization and features you can do through the app to get these lights exactly what you want. Really cool, really awesome product that I'm really happy that I partnered with Tesstudio to get the chance to review this and bring it to you guys. Speaking of that partnership, I said at the beginning of the video, if you use the code GAMBLE1080 here on the screen at checkout on Teststudio's website, you can earn up to 22% off any of their products. So really happy that they are partnered with me on this, and happy that I can share this discount with you guys. Links to their website in the description, and also a link to this exact product in the description as well for you to check out and go see if this is something that you might find really useful for your car. I'm a huge fan of it. I think you will be too. Before we close out, I have a little bit of an ad that Tesstudio had asked me to put at the end of the video. So I'd love for you guys to stick around, check that out, and you can see what other awesome products they offer. But thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel and checking it out. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know if you have any questions about this product, and I'd be happy to go over it with you and tell you about my thoughts, or if you need help with the installation, just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video real soon. Thanks.